Well, yeah, anime live action news, okay? Because I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
Honorary anime.
Avatar is fucking anime.
Yeah, the live action finally came out. We have not finished it. We just started watching it. We've seen the first episode so far. I've seen the second one. What about you? Have you seen the second one?
Yeah.
Okay, so first 2 episodes, first episode. So we're gonna give our thoughts as we're watching it. I'm sure we'll come back to this topic once we finish season 1.
Oh, yeah.
And kind of reflect on everything. But so far, initial impressions. What do we think about Avatar?
It's good. It is good. Like, visually, it doesn't look too cheesy.
Yeah, I like the visuals they're using. The effects and
It's a little bit darker than I would expect out of it. Like, it's like, I'll be honest, that whole first 30
people to burn alive.
Yeah, that whole first 30 minutes, I was like,
it was dark.
Oh my god.
We all know, okay? I'm one for genocide. I was not expecting that shit, okay? It was not something I
Well,
knew I needed, but like also I didn't want.
the crazy thing is, it does like a role reversal with the show, because in the animated show, it starts off so cheesy and wholesome and cartoon like, and then 3 to 4 episodes in, you're like, oh, this has more serious like undertones that if you don't give it the chance, yeah, you would never see. You just see it as a fun cartoon, like it's more just like fun adventure, right? This is the opposite. It starts off so serious, like genocide of all of the airbenders, and they sprinkled in maybe 2 jokes in that first episode,
Which
Bro,
is
that
like,
wave was huge.
yeah, realistic, like not in a
Yeah.
bad sense. I'm not saying it was bad. It's not what I was expecting for a first episode.
yeah.
I liked a lot of it. I was iffy on other stuff. I don't know how I feel. I have very mixed feelings about the first episode.
I saw a lot of complaints about like the intro because it wasn't 1-to-1.
Yeah,
I
people
don't
want a
care.
one-to-one
I don't
active,
care
yeah.
that it's not 1-to-1.
I wasn't expecting
There's
it.
a scene later on where like a character does it.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
so you've seen it. All right, yeah. So I forgot if that was in the first episode.
When isn't
Fucking
it?
is it?
Oh, I thought it was.
No, this is like the
Grand
old
Grand.
lady.
Grand, yeah. Grand.
Yeah, she says verbatim like the words from the long ago.
Yeah,
the
because she
4
realizes
nations used
like
to live in
you're
harmony.
not just any airbender, are you?
I thought that was cheesy. I didn't need it right then and there. If they were gonna do it, I think they should have done it at the beginning and not had it in the middle of that episode, because everyone, like when I was watching it, I was like, oh, they're doing the thing. Like she's saying the intro sequence, like maybe 30 minutes into the episode. At this point, I already know what you're doing. Like it just didn't.
Yeah.
It didn't
wrongly
click.
placed.
It didn't land for me. Yeah, I was like, okay, yeah, I guess we have to.
I mean, yeah, I guess you have to because they showed us the fucking genocide.
I'm not gonna lie. Like I didn't necessarily need that at the start. Them showing all of that and like placing them all conveniently in one place on the night of So's Comet. You know, like that whole thing. I didn't really need it. Like I feel like if they picked up the story and like kind of recapped it real quick, it would have been fine. But it is what it is. They spent half of the episode. I guess it's more because the episode is called Aang, right? It's about him as a character, so you're supposed to see where he's coming from. And yeah, I get he was flying the first
Yeah,
episode.
that bothered me a lot.
But realistically, in the show, he was always like super high up in the air and like dancing on the wind.
Yeah, he just had significantly more control over the air. And like what we were talking about is, I wouldn't have had a problem with that if they hadn't established that in Korra, this was like the pinnacle of airbending, is just flight.
But
you know?
nobody cares about Korra.
No, but that doesn't stop it from being canon. That doesn't stop it from being canon to the show, man.
I hate that you're right.
And like,
Okay.
I'm sorry,
Fair,
it's just
fair, but I just view it as more he controls his falling really well.
yeah. And like I saw it and I was like, oh, he's flying, and like, I didn't care that much, but I was like, he was honestly flying more than he was using the glider, and I was like, but the glider is like iconic. I love the glider.
One thing else that I kind of noticed that it kind of bothers me personally, just because I'm like, this person was so important to Aang. They nerfed Gyatso.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because like, this was something I was like hinting at earlier, that in the anime, when Aang discovers him, you just see Gyatso surrounded by
Like the dead bodies
bodies.
of Fire Nation.
And there was a TikTok that somebody had pointed out that if you look at like the the bodies and like the shape they were in, there wasn't any like proof of like physical damage. And the theory is that when they were all in that area, Gyatso just sucked all the air out of there, and he suffocated him and everybody else.
Oh damn!
Right?
Yeah.
Dark as fuck.
Oh, that's crazy.
Like, seeing Korra, we know that like, yeah, that's kind of possible.
I mean, that's one of the things I love about airbending. Like me as a kid, I was like, oh yeah, you can do this. And I know that's dark, but like, they did it.
Mm-hmm. But then like in this, it's just like, what? You had him of all fucking people straight up take Monk Gyatso out? That's... Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
It was weird. I didn't like dislike the fact that they included the whole backstory of Aang and everything in, well, maybe not the first episode. I think like they were trying to maybe do too much with that first episode. They did the backstory, then Aang being released, then Zuko showing up, and they even ended with like him going to the air temple.
Yeah.
And seeing everything. That was a lot for a first episode. I think that maybe it was just, I don't know. The direction was like not where I wanted it to go. I would have preferred starting the way it does in the show, the whimsical aspect of, hey, there's a boy in an iceberg. Who is this kid? It adds a little bit of mystery to it that maybe would keep you wanting to watch more. Like, how did he get there, right? But we already know how he got there because they showed us at the beginning in the live action. So maybe if they started normally, they could have spent a little bit more time doing more jokes and just making it a little more fun, I guess, because that's something that I missed in that first episode. And then if you're gonna go into the second episode, you could have done the backstory there, then do the air temple, and then maybe lead into the Kyoshi warrior stuff if you wanted to, and leave that either like in a cliffhanger and then finish it up in the third episode. Like, I don't know, just
that would have made more sense too, because it's like, oh, you get the backstory, you get the connection to like the avatars. What's next? Oh, he goes to an island that's literally like connected to a previous life of his, like one of his old, like his past lives has a whole fucking island named after her.
Yeah. And I do really like that I like what they showed the relationship with Gyatso and Aang. I did like that actually. And like when he was like, you'll always be my friend, like that kind of got me.
That got me.
I was like, yeah, dang, this is gonna suck later on. Let's see what happens. But no, I don't think they should have put it at the beginning of the show. I think second episode would have been a better place for it.
So, because you guys have seen the second episode, can you guys, I'm gonna keep watching, I promise, but I do need to know something right now. Please tell me.
It's better.
Okay, that's good. But tell me, Sakura's my
Katara?
God. Katara's fucking character becomes a little bit more accurate, because I'm gonna be honest, she has way more fucking backbone in the like original series.
A little bit more in
She
that second
seems like
episode.
like she doesn't take Sokka's shit.
Yeah, but Sokka doesn't really give that much shit.
That's the other thing. He was kind of a coward, like he was scared of her waterbending because it's like weird and different, and nobody else in the South Pole does it.
I mean, he was though.
Yeah, but then here, well, yeah,
he was like, "Get back in the kitchen."
He basically was doing that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say, like, I think Sokka's kind of carrying the show, in my opinion. I love Sokka a lot more after that second episode. The second episode, I think, did a way better job than the first episode. I thought it was more entertaining. I laughed way more. It explores, like, the Kyoshi Islands and everything, and I really liked that one, actually. I thought it was a lot closer to the show, and I think they actually did some things differently in the live action that I preferred over the show. And like, specifically his relationship with Suki, just because like it seemed a little more relatable. I was like, okay, like they're teenagers, you know, they like, there's that awkward kind of like,
I agree.
You know what I mean, right?
They did it a lot better.
Like I thought that was kind of cool.
That one scene where he's kind of like, what the fuck was that? And he like walks off.
Yeah, he was like, I'm gonna leave. He was just like stunned. They're both awkward.
Okay.
That's what it is. Like,
okay.
I know you haven't watched it.
Yeah, but it's not like we can spoil it. You obviously know what happens. So.
There's this Avatar State moment. And how did you feel about that?
At the end with Kyoshi and all that? It was okay.
Different.
It was different.
Very different from what I was expecting.
Kind of badass though. Like,
I mean, yes, but what?
Yeah. They didn't.
You'll see what we're talking about, and you'll bring it up next time we talk about this. But it was, they're doing things different, and I mean, I'm still probably gonna watch it, But they're doing things like really in different orders, right? Like in the first episode, we got Aang talking with Iroh.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that was.
Wasn't that weird?
That was so weird.
That was
Like
so
this is way too
weird.
early for this shit.
Uh-huh.
He had hair when they finally had a conversation.
Yeah, like the first time they actually meet in the show. Yeah, you're right. That was like book 3. Yeah, that was weird. I forgot about that. And I'm not loving Iroh so far. The second episode does a little bit better again for him.
There's sprinkles of that character that you love in there.
Yeah, but
It's just not shining through fully just yet.
He has the potential. Like some of the writing,
Iroh was a slow burn.
it's a slow burn. But I mean, from episode 1 in the show, he does like come off very funny uncle.
Mm-hmm.
He like right now in the
Not the
in the
dragon
live
artist.
action, he's more just like Zuko. Like he's just serious. Like I don't know. It's hard to explain, but he's more serious than I thought he was going to be. And that's what I love about Iroh. Iroh is not serious. He's like the least serious.
Sticky rice.
Huh?
Sticky rice.
Yeah, second episode. Second episode, I'm saying.
Okay, God damn it. I guess you're right.
Yeah, it's like the first and second are very different, like just tone wise. I think the first one sets it really serious, and then the second one they let themselves have a little more fun with it.
Trying to
Okay,
be like,
good.
hey, this is the hook, but like, oh,
Yeah, I think they were
Still the same shit. Like,
Yeah, they're probably
same
leaning on
Avatar.
the more serious tone to capture the people who always thought Avatar was a kids show and haven't watched it by now. But
Oh, this is kind of hardcore. Whoa.
yeah, so that's what I could see them doing. Like maybe that's why they started so serious to get a wider audience. They already have the people invested who have seen the show. They're gonna watch it regardless. And then you can capture the people who are like, all right, let's see what this live action kids show is about. Oh, this is dark. Let me keep watching.
Okay.
Right? I'm trying to think like a director, producer, like studio, whatever. Like why would I make those decisions? If I'm trying to appeal to like a bigger audience, that could be the reason.
Okay.
Also,
yeah.
it is,
episode
but-
1, them showing off all the characters and doing as much as they could. I get it because they had a great cast and they probably wanted to show like this is the cast, guys. Like we did it.
Okay.
We did it right.
Yeah. I will say already it's better than the movie. Like
Oh yeah.
it's
So
already
we don't talk about the movie.
I know.
We don't talk
like-
about the movie,
that's
but
like
we're
that-
talking about this.
That's about like that one anime live action
I don't know what
movie
you're talking
that
about.
yeah we never reference or talk about.